This is a story of a Christian couple who wants to have a baby, but they couldn't achieve it because of many known predisposing factors which they have, such as age, history of infertility in the family, and abnormal menstrual cycle. They have tried so many times and did many reproductive techniques, but failed to do so. One day, a friend of the woman introduced the in vitro pregnancy. It is a form of controlled fertilization that happens outside of a living being, such as humans. It is a very good idea and the answer to their problem, but there is a dilemma in the situation if the woman will undergo the procedure or not. First dilemma is that it is against the Christian teaching. Not all technically possible is also ethically acceptable. It somehow breaks the law of nature that God engineered to use a male and female to procreate. The procedure is somehow viewed as playing like God, and it seems that science, not God, was in charge. It is an abomination in Christian teachings to go to the world and multiply, not by a male and female partner, but in a test tube in the lab. God created Adam and Eve in the book of Genesis, chapter 2, and even commanded Abraham to go to the world and multiply. The second dilemma is that the couple are a devout Christians and thinking if the church where they are affiliated will support them. What would their life be if they would undergo this procedure? The church also taught about love and acceptance, but it's also taught justice and obedience to God. This has sparked and amplified many profound questions from their church. Would they become less of a Christian if the couple would undergo the said procedure? What ethical approach or theory does this situation have? So, in this story, the teleological ethical approach is the best theory that describes the situation of the couple who are concerned with the consequences of actions if they will do the IVF procedure, which means the basic standards of their action being morally right or wrong depends on the good or evil. In every situation, there is always an intention and consequence in each choice. As Immanuel Kant sticks to the views of the moral rulebook, where people have no exceptions, excuses for violating moral rules. And utilitarianism is a moral theory that focuses on the results or consequences of the couple's action, where the Christian people know that the intention is irrelevant, even if they really love and desire to have a child. Modern utilitarianism, which was founded in 18th century by British philosopher Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill, they agreed that action should be measured in terms of happiness. People will do everything else for happiness. A part of utilitarianism explains that an action is good if it produces or it is likely to produce results that maximize the person's self-interest or the egoistic theory. It implies in the couple's story that they will be happy if they're gonna have a child. Many researchers, doctors, and scientists are into this procedure because IVF is the default high-tech treatment for infertility. Imagine that the couple will have an egg and sperm cells in the storage lab, and the doctor have the control of how many pregnancies or babies that a woman can carry safely. These moral issues are the ones discussed and raised why Christians do not agree with it. Another part of utilitarianism theory holds that an action is good if it results in maximum satisfaction for a large number of people who are likely to get affected by the action. This can mean sacrificing your own pleasure or desire on a certain choice of the couple's life in order to produce more good actions overall. The desire of the couple to have a child, and some of the people in their church are thinking that the sperm and egg cells will be suspended to live and will just be stored in the lab for a long period of time. In terms of creation, it is not expressly prohibited in Scripture. But try to imagine the consequences of the action cannot just ethically discard those sperm and egg cells because it deserves to be implanted. For Christians, when you create life, you immediately start, cultivate, cherish, honor, and develop it in any way you can. This is the good for many, even though it produces less happiness for the couple. The couple would consider what would the people in the church think instead of thinking what they should do. Remember that each moral theory holds a specific approach on how to handle life's decision. Throughout history, a few moral theories have surfaced and have been analyzed for their strengths and weaknesses. A moral theory often shapes a person's attitudes towards others, belief system, and life's choices. How about you? What's your story? Thank you for watching.